Leeds fans, stop scrolling right now. Elland Road is absolutely reeling after that 3-0 humiliation against Brighton. Daniel Farke is facing a dressing room crisis. One player is set to be AXED, and a 22-year-old loanee already has his escape route planned. The air is thick with excuses, but here is the first payoff. The player Daniel Farke was seen visibly fuming it on the touchline. Brenden Aaronson, if you bleed white, yellow, and blue, and you believe this club is bigger than any one player or manager, smash that like button right now. We have to start with the incident at the Amex that has Farke ready to cross a name off the team sheet permanently. Stay locked. A 3-0 defeat on the road is never acceptable, but the loss to Brighton felt different. It felt like an exposure. This wasn't just a bad day at the office. This was a tactical failure compounded by individual errors, and Daniel Farke's patience has finally snapped. The focus of his frustration was singular. One player who has been given chance after chance to prove he belongs at this level. Brenden Aaronson. The American has looked improved this season compared to his last disastrous stint in the Premier League. But the 3-0 loss on November 1st proved he is nowhere near the finished article. One moment in the first half told the entire story. Brighton had already registered 8 shots, and they were gifted another. Aaronson, trying to make something happen deep in his own half, gave the ball away cheaply, allowing the Seagulls yet another opening. The camera panned to the manager. According to Daily Mail reporter Adam Patel, who was at the Amex, Farke's reaction was explosive. Patel reported, Brenden Aaronson lost the ball midway through the half. Farke turned to his bench and couldn't hide his frustration as Brighton were handed opening after opening. This isn't just sideline anger, this is a public breaking of trust. Farke has trusted him, but that trust now looks shattered. The stats back up the frustration. In 10 league matches this season, Aaronson has returned just 1 goal and 0 assists. That is simply not Premier League standard. And now, Farke has an alternative. Daniel James, the man who was so lethal for Leeds in the Championship with 12 goals and 9 assists last season, is back from injury. He's hungry, he's fast, and he's ready to take that spot on the right flank. Aaronson, a 54-cap international, remains far too inconsistent, and after infuriating his boss so publicly, he should find himself axed. Farke has to do something different. Leeds are currently 5 points clear of the drop zone, but that cushion will evaporate if complacent. Out-of-form players are not taken out of the firing line. Do you think Daniel James should immediately replace Aaronson in the starting lineup for the next match? Let me know in the comments. But as bad as Aaronson's performance was, Farke's frustration with his player is just the tip of the iceberg. What the manager said after the match is arguably far worse, and it has the fanbase questioning if he's the right man for this survival fight. Daniel Farke's visible fury at Brenden Aaronson is one thing. At least it shows he cares about on-field standards. But his public comments after the 3-0 drubbing show a complete disconnect from reality. The fanbase is rapidly losing faith, and his latest interview explains why. Leeds were tactically poor, they were outplayed across the park, and they failed to capitalize while rivals like Nottingham Forest, Wolves, and Burnley all failed to win. This was a missed opportunity. Yet, Farke's post-game comments don't reflect the crisis. As quoted by Leeds Live, Farke said, "We are a newly promoted away side. Today, fair assessment, it wasn't our day today. We are self-critical because we can play better. We weren't brave or confident. If you're 1-0 down in the away game, it's always difficult. After that, I was impressed with how we handled it. Impressed with how they handled a 3-0 defeat." This comment is being labeled as simply absurd by sections of the fanbase. How can a manager be impressed with anything during a performance that saw his team completely dominated? This is the kind of excuse-making that sinks teams. This isn't the first time Farke has made excuses before crucial games, and this attitude suggests the team is doomed to fail if it continues. Leeds remain on 11 points after 10 games, but the momentum from promotion is gone, replaced by a grim acceptance of a relegation scrap. But was there any positive? In the middle of that dreadful team performance, there was one singular spark of hope. The only player who looked like he belonged on a Premier League pitch. No Okafor. While the rest of the team capitulated, Okafor was the only spark for Leeds going forward. His individual performance was a defiant bright spot. According to SofaScore, in his 77 minutes, Okafor completed 5 dribbles out of 8 attempts and made 3 tackles, showing he was fighting at both ends of the pitch. Leeds fans must be praying that Okafor stays fit, because right now, he's the only hope they have. Moving forward, Leeds needs Farke to sort his ideas out, and fast. Is Noah Okafor the only player showing true Premier League quality in this squad? Hit that like button if you agree. Farke is fighting fires on the pitch and in the press room, but there's a third fire, one that's been smoldering since the summer, that the club must now decisively put out. While Farke deals with the immediate crisis of the Brighton fallout and Brendan Aaronson's form, the board at Elland Road is already looking ahead. They are facing another problem, a familiar, frustrating name that represents a fractured relationship and a failed transfer policy. The player, Mateo Joseph. The 22-year-old striker is currently on a season-long loan at Real Mallorca in La Liga, but the future of the Spain U21 international is already set to become a major headache next summer. Here is the crucial piece of information. That loan deal does not contain any sort of purchase option. Mallorca was priced out by Leeds' valuation. But the real story here isn't Mallorca, it's Real Betis. Betis were heavily linked with Joseph all summer. More importantly, the forward himself was desperate to join the Seville-based side. He reportedly ruffled feathers inside Elland Road with the manner in which he pushed for the move, going so far as to skip the club's preseason tour to Germany to try and force the transfer through. This is not a player committed to the cause. This is a player who sees his future elsewhere. According to reports from ABC in Spain, Real Betis were left frustrated by Leeds' refusal to include a purchase option, which ultimately caused that deal to break down. But the frustration was mutual. Joseph was understood to have been frustrated with Daniel Farke. Over the summer, that relationship is broken. It is highly unlikely to be salvaged. So what happens now? The last thing Leeds want is to be stuck next summer with a player they cannot sell, who doesn't want to be there, and who carries a negative influence. But Betis' frustration could be Leeds' golden escape route. It makes perfect sense for the club to go back to Real Betis next summer and offer them a permanent deal. They would surely be happy to oblige. This is a problem that needs solving, because Leeds desperately need another option at the top of the pitch now. The club does have an option to recall Joseph in the January transfer window, but what's the point? He hardly started in the Championship, he isn't the answer in the Premier League, and he doesn't want to be here. Neither Dominic Calvert-Lewin nor Lucas Mecha have hit the ground running. A regular goalscorer is a must for survival, and clearing Joseph out permanently is the first step to funding a real replacement. 3 stories, 1 brutal reality. The 3-0 humiliation at Brighton wasn't a blip, it was a warning flare. It exposed everything. It exposed Daniel Farke's tactical stubbornness, it exposed Brendan Aaronson's Premier League inconsistencies, and it highlighted the lingering squad issues like the Mateo Joseph situation that must be cleared out. This is the moment. This is where Daniel Farke has to prove he is a Premier League manager and not just a Championship specialist. The excuses about being a newly promoted side have to stop now. The survival of this club depends on it. Relying on the individual brilliance of Noah Okafor every single week is not a sustainable strategy. That 5-point gap above the relegation zone is nothing. It is a mirage that can disappear in one bad weekend. The upcoming fixture against relegation rivals Nottingham Forest is no longer just another game. It is a 6-pointer, a must-win. A loss there, and the panic buttons will be getting smashed all over West Yorkshire. The question is, does this fan base still believe? Here is what I need from every single Leeds fan watching this right now. 1. Smash that like button if you believe Leeds United must back Farke in the January window with a new, proven Premier League striker. TWO. Drop a comment with the one tactical change Farke absolutely must make for the Nottingham Forest game. Is it dropping Aaronson? Is it changing the formation? Let me know. And 3. Subscribe to this channel, because we are marching on together, through the good and the bad, and we need every single voice to silence the rivals who are loving our struggles. But listen closely, here is the double cliffhanger. A rumor is already circulating that Farke's frustration with Aaronson wasn't just on the touch line. Sources close to the dressing room claim he singled the American outpost match, and the reaction from the senior players in the room was divided. And as Leeds look for an escape route for Mateo Joseph, guess who else is reportedly monitoring his loan situation at Mallorca? Burnley. They are desperate for cheap firepower, and they would absolutely love to poach a frustrated Leeds asset right from under our noses. Marching on together, smash subscribe, and march over Nottingham Forest. Premier League survival is our destiny. We ride together.